Welcome to the Very Merry Life podcast, unfiltered, unscripted, and always relatable as fuck. I'm your host, Mary Hendricks, and you might know me from Instagram as that relatable AF mama who hopefully feels like an old friend at this point. And if not, hang tight and join in as things get real, honest, and probably a bit too TMI as I, and the help of some amazing guests, dive into all things mom life, marriage, sex, and more. No experts, just real life moms talking real life things. So get ready to laugh lots, cry occasionally, and leave feeling seen, supported, and inspired. Making friends is hard enough as an adult, let alone as a mom, but all of that changes right here and now. So hang on, lean in, virtually clink whatever glass you have nearby with mine, and let's go. Oh, hello, 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 hello. Okay, now you talk.
Hello.
Hello.
Howdy do.
Okay, good morning. Welcome back to another fabulous episode of the Very Merry Life podcast.
Hi.
Kevin and I are sitting down. It's Friday the 4th. Both the bigger kids are at school and Haley's down for a nap. So we're going to just sit and we're going to chat because it is our every other week. Well, this is coffee chat. The last one was cocktail chat. It's either going to be one of those.
Who says we don't have cocktails in our coffee at this juncture?
This is true. You never know. It's coffee. I couldn't handle that.
Well, no, we can't say that because people will be like, oh, you support drinking in the morning. Shame on you.
Is that your mom?
No, that's not my mom.
That's his mom voice. We have mom voices. What's my mom's voice that you do?
Oh.
We always do it different whenever we impersonate our parents.
Oh,
Okay, do your mom voice.
Cam?
Yeah, that's Kevin's mom, and my mom is Mary. Isn't it the same?
Just a salad. Yeah, it's pretty much. It's like
pretty much the same.
It's pretty much the same because
We just say
anytime a woman or a wife imitates her husband, it's the same voice too.
no.
Yeah, that's how you imitate my voice.
No, I don't. When do I do that?
That is exact. Anytime you imitate me.
Hi, my name is Kevin.
Yeah, exactly.
I take a big poop. Like that?
Okay. That's where this podcast is going right now?
No,
back to
just
toilet humor?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what are we talking about today?
You know what? Tomorrow is your birthday.
Yeah, that's right.
I originally proposed that you give us 38 lessons you've learned throughout life.
38 lessons? That's a long-ass thing.
Okay, give me 5. What are 5 life lessons you've learned in your last 38 years?
5 life lessons I've learned. One is that true happiness is family.
Okay.
That's I mean, 2, I don't know.
What are you trying to convince yourself of these?
I don't know. I don't know what 5 lessons I've learned.
Yes, you can. Okay, so that's 1.
No.
2. What's 2?
People will fuck you over. That's lesson 2. All right?
Lesson 3.
I can't think
Come
of
on,
it
keep
now.
going.
That's the only 2 lessons I've learned.
No, that is not true. Give me more. If you were to talk to your 16-year-old self and say, hey, listen, or your 18-year-old self, it's been 20 years.
18-year-olds.
What would you tell yourself?
You should have went to the University of Hawaii on that scholarship and not Sacred Heart University.
Okay.
Yeah, that's lesson 3.
3, 4.
I can't.
Come on.
I can't. You put me on the spot here. I can't think. Let's move on to something else.
All right, you're going to come back to these. We're going to revisit this. We got 4 and 5
maybe,
outstanding.
Yeah, well, we should have written things down. Written things down.
That's grammar. I know what we can talk about because I know this is a question I get asked a lot on whenever I do a Q&A, and it can actually apply because on Instagram, I talked about it yesterday. I'm not liking Instagram lately. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people always wonder how you feel about me on Instagram and doing this stuff with our life out there.
It brings you a lot of joy. I'm all supportive of it. Putting our life out there. I mean, everybody's life is out there now. It's not anything abnormal for that. And for you to get some great content on there and have the positive impact that you do, it's not like you're doing something stupid. There's people who do a ton of stupid shit on social media and get a following for it. But you're doing something productive, and I'm supportive for that. I mean, if it was something like OnlyFans, I might have a reservation against it. But again, there's some people who make a lot of money with OnlyFans. So
I could do that. I sell if I could sell feet pictures.
Oh yeah, we know people who do that. Yeah. Feet pictures.
You know how much money they make? I've listened to an interview of someone who started their OnlyFans page, and they made in a week $50,000.
Look, you can make a lot of money.
That's insane. I wouldn't do that.
Well, yeah, that's kind of...
I mean, they're having sex, isn't it porn?
I don't think you're allowed to have... I think you are. Are you allowed to have it on?
I don't know.
I thought they changed their algorithm or something.
I thought their rules or whatever.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident you can...
I don't know. All I know is that people were having sex on there.
I think Slushy, that other one you could do.
What?
Yeah, there's other comparative...
Ew, it's called Slushy?
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, no, people are having sex on there, though. I don't know. It's not for me.
Yeah, so let's talk about your imposter syndrome.
So let's talk about my imposter syndrome. It is.
Well, the problem is everybody has opinions about everything, and I don't like it when some person reaches out because they disagree with what you've done. And
I feel like I get nitpicked so much about what I say and what I do, and I think that I'm asking for it though. I know that with my following, every time it grows, I'm going to get that shit. I know it. I know that there is a certain level of shit that I'm expecting to get back. It makes it very hard sometimes to show up because I do make goofy things. I do make funny things, but it's done for an overwhelming purpose per se, to have a soft place to land.
I don't, granted, if you fly a flag that is going to get some sort of polarity in the response,
I'm a neutral zone.
Yeah, if you go out there and you say, hey everybody, it's time to vote, be sure to vote for X, Y, and Z, of course there might be people who disagree with that and they're going to let that be known. But if you post a video of taking our children to go get chicken fries from Burger King, and somebody's like, oh my God, I can't believe you feed your children fast food. You're such a bad parent. Well, there's no need for that. And I don't understand the logic behind it. I don't understand people that look for things that make them upset online just so they can voice their non-important opinion to whoever does it. And that's the sad reality as you get more and more people that follow your page, that there's going to be more and more trolls who are just going to go against whatever you have to say and whatever you do.
No.
Because they have a very obscure view of the world, or they just want to, throw fuel on the fire and see what happens. It's very sad, sad times that we live in.
Well, it's just, I try to I explained it the other day on Instagram, the imposter syndrome, and I explained, because I think imposter syndrome happens in a variety of ways. Either you're going to have imposter syndrome at in a career workplace. That's common. That the amount of people that messaged me and said I just got promoted, I feel like they're going to realize that they promoted the wrong person and that I'm not actually capable of what I'm doing. And then there's imposter syndrome as a parent, no matter, because especially as a parent, I think when you're a first-time parent, you prep and you read all these books and you read all these blogs, and you see people on Instagram and things like that, and you're seeing all of these people doing things differently. And then when your baby's born, nothing could prepare you for the real thing. All of that, I think it comes from us feeling unprepared. It's this uncomfortableness that comes from being unprepared in new events. And I think that's where mine's coming from, is because I have a podcast now. I have a new website coming out soon with the blog that's going to be attached. I have a bunch of other shit that's happening, which is really exciting, but I'm just
self-doubt always comes into play with a lot of things.
Well, and I explained on especially with if anyone listening is dealing with the imposter syndrome, it boils into comparison and things like that, especially on Instagram. And I tried to give a behind the scenes look. I don't so much deal with that. I don't look at people and question what I'm doing as a parent or anything. Especially now, not on Instagram, because I realize people are not sharing it all. You pick and choose. I pick and choose what moments I'm sharing. I'm not going to share nasty moments. I'm not going to share tantrums or any of that shit, because those aren't my moments to share. I don't think it's correct to share that stuff. I think I do not support any parent that puts their children out there having a meltdown on the internet. I do not agree on that.
Well, because the kids don't have a choice, right?
They don't have a choice.
They don't have a choice. They don't have a say, and stuff that's on the internet never goes away. I mean, granted, you could think that your stories go away or whatever.
No, they're always housed. They're always somewhere.
There's ways people can download them, and there's ways, things are preserved forever. So
yeah, so I mean, I don't think it's correct. We have to give our kids. I follow someone actually. She calls it generation shared. That's the generation that we're getting, because it's just we share all of our kids' moments. Nothing's private anymore, which I get. Again, I'm in this world, so I think because of that, I don't compare myself there. But also with the bigger influencers, the ones that like have this perfect aesthetic and this perfect reality, it's all marketing. Yeah. It's all marketing. People don't realize that. Like, all of it is marketing. They have to put on aesthetic. Aesthetics sell. At the end of the day, aesthetics will always sell. If I show a messy house and I'm trying to sell a toy and it's all clutter and mess around that toy, it's not going to look visually appealing, and it's not going to give off a perception of simplicity and value. Like, all of these things boil into aesthetics, and people with a bigger platform are going to do that even with their stories, even with their day-to-day life.
I mean, it's no different than any type of advertising, right? Why models look a certain way, why, the clothes on this model is going to look a certain way. And then when you get it, same exact different outfit, it looks different, because obviously we're all different.
Yeah, but that right there, the marketing tricked you into thinking that if you buy it, you're going to look like the model was.
It's no different with parenthood and like these Pinterest and these Pinterest social media moms that they give you this impression of what parenthood and parenting is, and the reality is much different.
Yeah,
right. It's a very different thing for different people. And that, I think, in and of itself is a breeding ground for imposter syndrome. Because if you're looking at this Pinteresty mom, boss woman doing something, and you're like, oh, well, she's able to do this, why don't I do this?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, social media is a breeding ground for imposter syndrome as a whole, whether you're a parent or not, because everyone's just uploading their accomplishments and their successes and their day-to-day life. That's what it's turning into. We're getting a window of opportunity into seeing other people's worlds, but it's done in a way. No one's putting out their shit. Are you kidding? No. Like, I try to share as much shit as I can, but at the end of the day, that doesn't sell. If my page was only of the bad moments in my life, no one would come. No one would want to.
Yeah, no one. I mean, no one wants to go onto social media
to be brought down. Some people do.
I would hope not, but
some people do. Some people want to feed the nasty in them, but
and that's
at the end of the day, you're trying. For me, there's two different avenues in Instagram. What I've learned is either people are trying to sell a persona or they're trying to sell a feeling. Either way, they're both trying to sell something. Yeah. I'm trying to sell a feeling, if that makes sense. I'm not trying to sell it. I'm trying to elicit a feeling, but everything I do when I take on a collaboration or anything, I want it to align. It has to align with what I'm doing.
It has to.
It has to. Yeah. It doesn't work.
It wouldn't make sense for you to be
selling tires.
Yeah, or something to that effect.
No. Right? So it's all part of a bigger plan. And I think because I know that, it's easier to digest. I think things are getting more authentic and raw, but it's hard when you're on the other end.
People don't realize how much goes into it. People don't realize how much goes into running your own business. Yeah. And that's what you're quintessentially doing, is you're running your own business. You're selling yourself. You're selling you're the product, and people want to associate themselves with the product. So that's.
No. Well, and I think that might be honestly what's kind of contributing to the imposter syndrome is like, I started this page to have fun. I still have fun. I think because it's turning into a business and it's turning into like this entity, which I love, like I'm so excited for. I think that freaks me out a little bit because I don't want to lose
sight of the fun, because when it's not fun anymore,
then it's not worth it. And I think that's where I'm kind of getting tripped up. And even like with taking yesterday off of my, like, I got on my stories quickly and then I got shit for things I said. And
it was something
whatever.
that you didn't.
Stupid, but.
No one in their right mind would have ever construed what you did as that. But again, these people aren't in their right mind. They're just looking
but I
to
just,
throw
and then I
fuel
just
on the
was
fire.
like, fuck this, I'm not getting on my stories for the rest of the day. And I shared that, but the downside of what I don't like
then
about
that
what
asshole, whoever they were, who said something about, oh, you never bring your kids to the park. It's like, you don't know anything.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know the dynamic of the park's not very close. Okay, the park, and it takes time to get there, and it has to align with certain sleep schedules and things of that nature. So, whoever said that, you're a jerk.
No, you. But either way, I got off. But I think I hate about what's not fun for me right now. But it is fun. Like, I enjoy doing it. At the end of the day, it's like a hard balancing act. It's like I have obligations at this point. I have obligations with my page, which I love. That's what I've always hoped would happen. But at the end of the day, it's still like, if I take off, I can't take off for the week.
Yeah.
I can't.
No. You can't.
Because it would affect my algorithm, which would affect the performance on so many other things, which in the long run would fuck me. Like, it would just screw me. And that, like, it's a constant wheel. And I think that's where it kind of gets overwhelming when you realize, like, I'm having a bad day, but guess what? You still have to show up. And that's where you're like, oh.
Like a job.
Shit.
That's a job.
Yeah. And that's where it's like, oh, I don't like this.
Yeah.
But I do. That's the thing. I do like it. It's just it's new. All of this is new. And I'm trying to figure out a way that I can, like, that's why I hired a virtual assistant. Yeah. That way on bad days, if I already have things prepped, I can kind of just, I'm going to keep on doing it because it brings me a lot of joy. I know you know that.
Yeah, it should. And I said that from the beginning. If all
the moment it doesn't,
it's
done. So if you're an asshole, don't do that. Don't ruin my fun time. Don't ruin the thing I have worked so hard for.
Yeah.
I have. I've put in, like, it's been 2 years since I really kicked things off.
No, but your page started back when you were pregnant with Cassidy.
And it's been there in existence for 6 years, but, like, really putting in the consistency. I've been consistent on this app. I don't think I've taken off more than a week.
Yeah.
From this app.
And even when you take off, you don't
2.5 years. No.
But even when you take off, you don't really take off. So
yeah. Which is kind of crazy.
Well, that's what social media is. It's 24/7, 365. It's no breaks on it. And that's kind of the advent of what we saw with COVID, when people could quote unquote work from home. Like, now people are working harder from home than they ever worked in the office. And now people can reach you. People can reach you at any time.
That's like the terrible part of it. Ugh. Anyway, your birthday's tomorrow.
Yes,
Big
it is.
38.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Do you feel 38?
Do I feel 38?
We met. Do you remember? We met right before you turned 28.
Yeah, September of 2012.
Do you remember what we did for your birthday that year?
What did we do? Didn't we have it? Oh yeah, it was right after the hurricane.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one.
What was that?
up.
Hurricane Sandy?
I think it was.
Yeah.
It was either. Yeah, was it Sandy or Irene?
No, it was Hurricane Sandy.
Yeah, no, we
really
went.
crazy.
Yeah, it was. We went out to the bar and nobody showed up.
Yeah, but then what did we do? Didn't we? That was when I met your mom and your dad and your sisters for the first time.
Yeah. We went to TGI Fridays.
Yeah.
My dad said the nachos were moist because he knew you didn't like the word
I
moist.
hate that word.
Yeah, they said these. He was like, these moist nachos.
Yeah, your dad was
Kevin's
dad was a good guy, character. Yeah. But yeah, and I met your mom.
Yeah.
She loved me right at the beginning.
Yeah, she did. Very much so.
All right, well, we'll make this a shorter episode.
Yep.
Anything you want to add?
Stop.
What's your number 4 and what's your number 5? I told you we are going to revisit these.
Stop trolling. Trolls.
Okay, so that's your 4th life lesson
Yeah, don't be a troll.
Don't be a troll. And what's your 5th?
I don't know. I'll tune into the next episode.
No, come on.
Right, well, I don't know.
Think of things that you wish you had known. Don't eat a cheesecake blizzard.
Yeah, don't eat a cheesecake royal blizzard when you have to walk like a mile and a half with a dog. Otherwise, you might poop your pants.
Yeah, never a good thing. All right, well, thanks for tuning in. See ya.
Adios.
Another episode down and way more to go, but thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you would like to help support this podcast, I would love for you to subscribe. I'd love for you to share it with others and post about it on your own social media or leave a rating and review. I cannot tell you how helpful and how appreciated those things are for me. Of course, to catch all the latest from me, you can follow me over on Instagram at The Very Merry Life, over on TikTok, The Very Merry Life, and even if you wanted to check out my monthly newsletter, you can do so by subscribing over at theverymerrylife.com. I'll see you next week. Stay tuned for more honest, raw, real chit chat. I have some amazing moms lined up coming on, and shit's gonna get fun. So buckle up, Buttercup. It's gonna be good.